Hello, and welcome to another episode of Ask a Tranny, where you ask me questions, and me, the tranny, answers them. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, hello. My name is Victoria, and I'm a mess. Again, it never changes. A few days ago, I went to Snapchat, and I asked you guys if you needed any advice, and apparently a lot of you fuckers do. If you would like to be a part of my next advice video, follow me on Snapchat. It's in the description. Let's get started. All right, this person needs some advice. Let's get into it. Do you have any tips on not getting dysphoria from dating a straight man? I find that lately I've been getting super self-conscious, knowing he'd prefer a cis woman, even if he won't admit it. And then it was the face with like the little slanty face. Like, he swears he doesn't mind, but I know he'd prefer me to have a vagina. And I know he used to really want kids. IDK, I've been struggling with that a lot. My first instinct, like right off the bat, if this person is dating you, he obviously wants to be with you. Like, I don't think people get into a relationship with someone they don't like. Like, yeah, maybe you date someone for a while and then you're like, oh, I don't really want this person. But like, I don't think anyone like goes into a relationship like, I don't know if I really want him, but let's try it out. He obviously got with you for a reason. Like, you probably have some bomb-ass dick sucking skills or something like that. I mean, I can kind of relate. Not really, but I guess my situation's kind of similar. Leighton's a straight guy. He only dated cis girls before me. So, do I ever get self-conscious about being trans? Kind of. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, like, I wish I had a vagina, like, because I know he really likes vaginas. But we had a conversation about it. I was like, hey, do you, like, miss vagina? And he's like, not really, like, it's whatever, like, it's not a big deal, like, I don't, like, need it to survive. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, yeah, I love you. And I was like, I love you too. And that was it. I mean, you could just ask him, just be like, hey, like, does it bother you that I don't have a vagina? And if he says no, I mean, you should probably believe him. My thing is, like, you should believe someone until they give you a reason not to. All right, advice number 2. Hi, I need boyfriend advice. My boyfriend is the type of guy who wants to be waited on hand and foot, and I am not that type of girl. He wants to do many sexual things that I'm not really comfortable with. I would be, but we've only been dating for 2 months. I'm wondering if I should not be a prude and just do it, or leave him if what he wants isn't the same as what I want. I think in any relationship, there has to be compromise. Like, do I want to stick my fingers in Leighton's asshole? Yeah. Does he want me to? No. And he's not going to let me to. And I'm okay with that. If you don't want to do something sexual with someone and they like make you feel like shit about it, that's gross. Like, that's really ugly. Like, you don't need somebody like that. Someone who loves you and cares about you is not going to make you feel like shit for not wanting to do something, especially when you've only been dating 2 months. So that's kind of weird to me. That kind of gives me like a red flag. Also, about wanting to be waited on hand and foot, everyone loves that. Everyone loves to like have someone who just wants to like pamper them and cater to their needs. But again, it has to be 50-50. So if like you do that for him, but he's not willing to do that for you, that's ugly. Or if he wants you to do that for him and you don't feel like that's something that you should have to do for him, or that's not even something that you would want done for you, then obviously like your, what's the word I'm trying to say? Your like morals and like needs are not linking up. And that's another thing. If you're not linking up, you're not linking up. Like, if he's making you do stuff that you don't want to do and he wants to be waited on, I don't know how serious that is. Like, if he's making you his like little bitch, like, that's gross. Like, leave. Also, I feel like a common theme for all of these is just like talk to him about it. But I guess if you guys are asking me for advice, you don't feel like you can. And if you don't feel like you can, then what are you doing? No, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I would just say, know your boundaries. Don't let anyone give you shit. Don't let anyone walk over you. There's a fine line between wanting your partner to do things for you and working as a team versus abusing your partner and overusing their love. Completely different things. Figure out what's going on and go from there. I don't know, this just doesn't sound like someone good to me. This sounds like someone bad. Advice number 3, SOS. This is urgent. This is why I picked this one, just because they said SOS at the beginning. I was like, fuck, like, if I don't answer this, I'm a fucking cunt. I recently started talking to this man I was set up with one of, I can't read English. I recently started talking to this man I was set up with by one of my best friends. We totally hit it off, and our first date was an amazing and romantic experience. It felt like we had been together for years. One day later, he told me he didn't feel it and that he didn't want to pursue this anymore. I have to respect his feelings, but I'm so confused because of how well I thought it was going, and I'm having a hard time moving on. Advice on what to do. I love you, Victoria. I love you too. This sounds like a romantic, like, one night, like, ooh, like, hit it off for one night and then it's over. Maybe that's just what it was. Maybe just accept it for what it was. Accept the night that you had. Always cherish it, you know. You'll think back on it later and be like, wow, that was, like, such a fun night. But if he's telling you he doesn't want to pursue it, then this is gonna sound ugly. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but, like, maybe you felt something that he didn't. So, for instance, like, two people can go on a date, and you can think it's, like, completely bomb as fuck and, like, amazing, and he might not. Or he may have made you feel like he was on the same page, like he was vibing with you, like you were vibing with him, but he could have just been acting because he didn't want to be rude. That's another possibility as well. I highly doubt, like, someone would go on a date with someone and have an amazing time and then be like, oh, I don't want this. So it kind of sounds like you need closure. I think if you can get in contact with him, just kind of ask him. Like, I don't know if you've asked him or, like, tried to get further into it. Like, hey, like, why don't you want to do this anymore? But, you know, my main advice would just be take it for what it was, be happy that it happened, and if he doesn't want to pursue it, he doesn't want to pursue it. You can't force anyone to have feelings for you. You can. I've done it before. You actually can force someone to have feelings for you, but it just ends up ugly. It's gross, and it just doesn't work out in the end. You have to build on something solid. So I would just maybe ask, if it's really bothering you and if it's, like, keeping you up at night and driving you crazy, you just ask him, be like, so, like, what did you not like? But just be prepared because it might hurt your feelings. I'm such a fucking guru. Like, I'm so good at this. Oh my God, I should do more. Makes completely different channel just for advice. Gets like 500 subscribers and it dies. Okay, I really, really like this one. Advice number 4. How do I get my boyfriend to be more thoughtful and romantic? Because I feel like I always want to tell him to do things for me, like get me flowers or leave me notes or things like that. But it's like, if I tell him to do these things, he's not doing them out of the lovingness in his heart. He will just do it because it's what I told him to do. I just don't think romance is, like, the most important thing in the world. Like, if Leighton never bought me flowers again, I would be okay. Like, if he never wrote me a cute note, I'd be okay. It's like, that's not something that I crave, so I don't really relate to this. If he's not doing these things for you, like getting you flowers, writing you notes, being romantic, it literally means it's not something that he thinks about. That might not even be something that goes through his head. I think girls are kind of just shoved with this idea of, like, oh, like, these social media relationships, and they're so perfect and they're so romantic. And it's just not realistic, in my opinion. I'm sure that you could find a guy who would love to do that kind of stuff, but that doesn't mean he's perfect. That doesn't mean he really cares about you. People can show you that they care about you in other ways. So, like, does he check up on you? Does he get you food? Does he ask you if you're okay? Does he ask you how you're doing? Does he ask you how your day is going? There's a lot of ways to show love versus the stereotypical ways, like, oh my God, he bought me flowers, or oh my God, he, like, wrote me this poem and, like, recited it, like, at his church. Like, there's just a lot of other ways to show that you care and love about someone. Now, if he's not showing you, like, any care, like, he doesn't give a fuck, like, he just, like, doesn't give a fuck what's going on in your life, that's a different thing. Move on. But you sound like the kind of person that really wants that, and I don't want to knock that. Like, I don't want to come on here and be like, oh, fuck you, like, romance is dead, because, like, it's really not. You can't tell him, because then he's gonna do it, and in your head, you're gonna be like, well, you're only doing it because I told you to. So it's kind of just win-lose. Like, it sounds like you just didn't get in a relationship with someone who's romantic. And if that's something that you want, then you kind of have to move on. Yeah. Fuck. I feel like I'm telling you, like, the fucking truth. And it's so easy because I'm not looking at you right now. Like, I'm looking at my iPhone. But, like, I'm sorry. It just doesn't sound like he wants to be romantic. That sucks. It's okay, though. I'm sure he loves you. You sound great. You type really well. You have good vocabulary, so I'm sure you've got a good head on your shoulders. And the last advice question, advice number 5. How do I get my friend's rich dad to fall in love with me and leave his wife? This is something that I actually experienced myself. In high school, I had this best friend and her dad was super hot, super rich, and every time I spent the night at her house, he would always fuck me. So basically, I told him, I was like, look, if you want to keep beating up this pussy, you're gonna have to leave your wife because I'm not doing this whole side chick thing. I'm very selfish, I'm a Scorpio, I'm very self-centered, I need all of the attention on me, I am not a sharer. So I told him straight up, I was like, look, you either stop fucking your wife and get with me, or you're not gonna fuck my throat anymore. And he said, you know what, you're right, you don't deserve this. He divorced his wife, we moved to Dubai for 3 months, and that was it. We broke up, and it was fine, but I appreciated the fact that he did what I told him to do. Just take my advice on it. I'm also not friends with the girl anymore. She blocked me on Instagram and Facebook, so. Miss you, girl. Let's go get froyo again soon. Alright guys, that is all of the questions that I'm going to answer today. I hope that I really inspired some of you. I hope that I helped some of you. These seemed like really serious, so I wanted to like kind of take it seriously, but I'm a comedian at heart, so if I made fun of you, I'm sorry. If you want me to do more advice videos in the future, give it a thumbs up. Follow me on Snapchat if you want to. That's where I'm gonna go for the advice from now on, so follow me on Snapchat if you want to be in the next one. And I have other social medias down in the description too, so if you want to follow me on there, feel free to do so. No pressure though. This is a chill zone. You don't have to do anything. I hate that people like force people like, subscribe to my channel, follow my socials, suck my ass, fuck my dick. Like, no, you can do whatever you want. I love you guys so much. So fucking much. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye. That was hot. It was like, I don't know. I'm so drunk. I had 2 glasses of wine. It's because I didn't really eat a lot today. God. All a girl needs in life is her jewel and her peach pear LaCroix, bitch. Want to see a cool vape trick? I hate myself.